What is up, my turtles? My name is Jimmy, also known as YmmijTortuga, and welcome back to the Road to MasterBall tier. This episode is going to be a little bit different than the first one because my computer decided to mess up, and I recorded all the footage and whatnot, but the audio never recorded. So it's very interesting. So I got the desktop audio. I'm in the battle tower and whatnot. So I'm just gonna kind of run through the matches in which happened in this episode. And I know it's not the most ideal, but we had to do what we had to do. So it kind of looks mirrored. It's not the best. Next episode will be better, I promised. I recorded another one to make sure that everything is good. I think we're good. So again, there's no sound here. I'm gonna do my best to just kind of commentate over kind of myself, I guess. I guess I could have done it a little bit differently, you know, in terms of that, and only did the game, but it is what it is. I'm already there. If you guys are excited for this episode, though, and my commentary, hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let's get started. Alright, guys, so our first battle was against Josh. Josh had a pretty scary team. That Comfey really scared me, so I definitely wanted to make sure that I had that in mind. So that was definitely, I would say 100% that was my primary target when I was going into to pick this team. Obviously, Lapras is very good. Comfey, I've seen it use Giga Drain into the Lapras for the weakness policy, so I wanted to make sure that I was ready for that. And then with Comfey's ability, I think it gives it like +3 priority or something like that. I haven't seen too much with Comfey, but I know it's super scary, which is you know, which is part of its MO. It's really good. So that definitely was it. But this but Josh here has a very versatile team. It's very good. But most people yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say, it's like that Comfey, I've seen it in action, it's not good. So I decided to change things up. I know in the last episode I did a lot of Talonflame Cinderace. So this time I decided to do Rotom and Magnezone. Rotom can Dynamax immediately, set up that electric terrain, and Magnezone being able to use that rising voltage, and especially with Analytic, it could be very good. So that was what I thought, and then you guys saw what my next team was. So we have Josh here versus Yimmij. Here we go. My first match of this episode is going down. So so let's do it. Let's see what happens. So we get a, indeed the Comfey comes out, but then we see the Goodra, which obviously Goodra is very powerful. Usually rocks the Assault Vest as well. I've seen a lot of Assault Vest Goodras be there. And Goodra is super bulky, and I'm going to be honest, you guys are going to see just how bulky this thing is in a bit. So I do the Max Lightning. I indeed do the Max Lightning, and then Rising Voltage strategy. That's the very first thing that I do. I forget exactly what the thought process is here, but yeah, okay. So we do Dynamax. We see that we're faster because we end up Dynamaxing first. Again, we're Dynamaxing the Rotom to set up that psychic terrain, which is, or excuse me, that electric terrain. I'm so used to Indeedee. Oh my goodness. So yeah. And then they go ahead and Dynamax their Goodra, which I expected to see. Comfey, obviously being a fairy type, does have a fairy type move, and Goodra, did not actually rock what I thought it rocked, and you guys will see here in a moment. But basically, Comfey is going to use Draining Kiss into the Goodra, which activates its weakness policy. Which was a scary AF. It's scary AF. And Max Lightning into the Comfey, I don't believe actually knocked it out. But I'm going to be honest, in hindsight, as I'm watching this match, I should have Rising Voltaged into the Goodra. But I was too afraid of the Comfey. So the Max Flare gets off. Magnezone rocking that Focus Sash, managed to survive it just because of that. We do, like I said, we do manage to survive. We're going to go into that Rising Voltage, into the Comfey, which is going to do a tremendous amount of damage. You know, you got Stab, you got Analytic, we've got Electric Terrain up, and it's Rising Voltage, which has more damage. It's such a good, it's so good. So now we got Rillaboom coming in, which gets rid of my Electric Terrain immediately, which bothered the heck out of me, not gonna lie. So, in this particular case, and in hindsight, I now know why this didn't do too much damage. I go for the Max Geyser. I should have Max Lightninged again in hindsight, because the sun is out. The water moves are not going to deal a lot of damage in the sun. I'm looking at this in hindsight, so this was a misplay. Magnezone is going to protect to try to stall out the turns. Rillaboom is going to use Fake Out to try to knock out the Magnezone. It protects, so a good protect on our end. But the Max Geyser is going to get rid of the sun, but it deals nothing to Goodra. First of all, it's not very effective. Goodra is bulky as it is, and then it's even bulkier with Assault Vest. We know it's not Assault Vest because of that weakness policy, so... And then a Max Wormwind does a decent amount of Rotom. We do survive, which was pretty epic. But we do lose our some attack stat with both my Pokemon on the field are special attackers. We show our Citrus Berry. So we're not in the best of situations. We are still up one because of the knockout with Comfey. But like I said, in hindsight, I really feel like I should have used Max Lightning. It's like, never mind the sun. It's like Magnezone was going to go down anyway. And that would have taken out Rillaboom's priority with the Grassy Glide. So at this point, I'm thinking it's like I really want to stall out the last turn of Dynamax for both of us. So that's why I'm hovering over the Max Guard. So we do decide to Max Guard, and we try to YOLO it with a double protect with the Magnezone. And let's see what happens here, because this is something. So I do end up clicking the protect. We're going big. And Rotom is going to use the Max Guard. And like I said, Magnezone is going to use Protect. We get the double Protect off, which you can see my excitement there, which is really good. Grassy Glide into the Magnezone, which obviously, like I said, the idea of that was to stall out the last turn of Dynamax. So we did manage to do that. But now we have this Rillaboom and this Goodra to worry about. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And especially in the grassy terrain, I should have Max Lightning. That's like, I still look at this back in hindsight. I definitely should have Max Lightning here. So we're gonna try a couple of moves, and we try a discharge. But Rillaboom is going to use Grassy Glide into the Rotom. I've seen that used many times. Rotom does not stand a chance against that. Rotom does not go well against Rillaboom. And Goodra using Flamethrower. We've already used the Sash on the Magnezone. Does knock it out. So we do drop 2 Mons to their 1. You know, we have 2 Mons left. They have 3. So we do a Talonflame Haxorus here. Which is good, but we have issues with that. Like I said, with that grassy Glide. So what do I do here? I forget what I do here. We're gonna Brave Bird the Rillaboom, and we are going to Dragon Claw the Goodra. Okay. Okay, so we do that in really hopes of dealing a decent amount of damage to both of them. So Goodra is withdrawn, and then we see Incineroar, which is unfortunate because of Intimidate, which both my Mons now on the field are physical attackers. So this is not good. This is not good. So Rillaboom is going to use Protect. which is going to protect it from the Brave Bird. And yeah. Then we get a nice Dragon Claw off into the Rillaboom, which doesn't do a ton of damage, but it does get that chip. Grassy terrain still up in the air. And yeah. Alright, so we're going to try a Brave Bird again. I believe we go for Brave Bird again. I don't see any reason to use Flare Blitz. The rain is up. I remember the rain is up at that point. And yeah, so then we are going to close combat, it looks like. Yeah, we decided to close combat the Incineroar. I was going to say, I remember using close combat here because, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure why I chose close combat. I think it was because of the 120. Again, -1 because of that one drop. And then I forget about the fake out, so Talonflame gets faked out. Rillaboom uses Grassy Glide into the Haxorus. Not a lot of damage. And then Haxorus is going to use Close Combat. Does not knock out the Incineroar. That Intimidate proving to be very, very harmful. Alright, and then the rain is going to stop, which is good. So that'll free up Talonflame's Flare Blitz if I so choose. But I do not think that's what I go for. I think I still continue to use Brave Bird in case the Rillaboom switched out for the Goodra. I believe that was my thought process when I went through that. So we're gonna go to the Brave Bird, and then we decide to use Earthquake because Talonflame is a flying type. It's not gonna affect it, even with that. Rillaboom is gonna protect again. So becoming very, very difficult to knock out that Rillaboom. Haxorus is going to use Earthquake. Protected Rillaboom does not affect it. It does not affect Talonflame at all. And Incineroar does indeed go down. So, what's nice about the Goodra switching out, by the way, is that it no longer has its stat buffs from weakness policy. And it's not like it gets that back. So, like that. However, I still have an attack drop, so that's, that's a thing. So the grassy terrain is finally gone. We're going to finally Brave Bird into that, into the Rillaboom slot. And I believe we use our Dragon Claw into the Goodra, just to to spread out our moves. I don't like doubling down on Pokemon, if I can't help it. But again, that Intimidate proving very, very harsh. Dragon Claw going into the Goodra does a fair amount of damage. Again, Intimidate proving to be very, very harsh. Haxorus going down to that Grassy Glide. And then that Blizzard is just absolutely killer. That Blizzard is absolutely killer there because Haxorus obviously is weak to it. And yeah. So at this point, I know I've lost because of the Brave Bird or the Flare Blitz. I know I can use either or because I don't have any other Pokemon. I decided to go for the Goodra this time, just because the Rillaboom has proven that it's not afraid to protect. Not sure if Goodra carried it, but we decided to go for the Brave Bird into the Goodra slot to try to do that. The Rillaboom tries to fake out for whatever reason. I'm not sure why it did that. But the Brave Bird does indeed knock out the Goodra. And, but because of the recoil, I was not able to pick up the KO. So I'm not quite sure what Josh was thinking with that fake out there. 100%. It's like if I didn't have a recoil move, I would have 100% survived that. So that was an unfortunate loss in match 1, a very, very long one, 14-ish minutes and whatnot. And then I do manage to get a Pearl String for that. So a little annoyed. I was a little annoyed at that part because it always seems when I get to Pokeball tier, I lose a match immediately. And yeah, it's unfortunate there. So I felt pressure going into this one because I really needed to get back into the W slot, the win slot and whatnot. So we go up against Matite here. With that Weavile, Toxapex. I called it Marini at first, which was really, really weird. We got the Rillaboom, Hawlucha, Starmie, and Scizor. So, my thoughts on this one is, I know Weavile is very, very fast. Or at least I remember that at some point throughout this match. So, I do eventually end up picking, as you can see here, Cinderace, Talonflame. And then I'm just trying to figure out how to kind of cover the rest of what potentially could be bringing. I decided to bring Magnezone over Rotom because of the Rillaboom. The Rillaboom has proven to be Rotom's weakness in this team. And then I believe I bring Haxorus. I believe I bring Haxorus in this one. I think that's the one that makes the most sense. Yeah, I don't think I bring Rillaboom. I believe I bring Haxorus because Haxorus does very, very well against the rest of this team, in my opinion. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. They know exactly what they're gonna pick. Oh God. All right. So good luck to my opponent. This time is Matite. I'm not sure. 420 incoming. I still like that it's that. All right, so Weavile Starmie comes out, which is very good. We got these beautiful shiny Pokemon, by the way. They're very beautiful, as are mine. So I can flex too, Kappa. Alright, so, relatively easy first turn for me. I think this is the point where I remember that, Weavile is fast. So I do decide to use Tailwind. But instead of the G-Max, Fireball and stay Fire type with Cinderace, I decide to punch it. I believe that was going to be the better play because they're not going to see it. They're not going to see that coming. So they're taking their time, which is 100% fine. You know, take time, use the max time as much as you can. So they decided to withdraw Weavile, which is probably pretty good. Brings out the Toxapex, beautiful shiny Toxapex, by the way. And we're going to Dynamax or G-Max our Cinderace rather. To put on that offensive pressure here. Yeah. So we have a Gigantamax. It is indeed going to use that, that to its advantage. We're going to Tailwind with our Talonflame to make sure that we're going to stay faster than that Weavile when it comes out. And then we're going to use that Max Knuckle into the Toxapex. It doesn't do a ton of damage right off the bat. It's very bulky Toxapex, but that does increase our attack. And this is where the scary thing comes in. This is where I learn what Starmie can do. A Meteor Beam. So, Meteor Beam apparently needs a turn to charge. And it raises its special attack, and then because of the item, which is Power Herb, and Cinderace avoids the attack, by the way, does a lot of damage, I would imagine, but Cinderace ended up avoiding the attack, which was, you know, not good at all. Alright, so I decide at this point, I believe to Max Airstream, I believe I Max Airstream the Starmie. And then I decided to go for the Brave Bird into Toxapex. And then I forgot about Baneful Bunker. Luckily, they decided not to use Baneful Bunker in that part. Which definitely could have been a thing. Does a fair amount of damage with that. Cinderace is going to use Max Airstream, which is going to boost our speed by 1 in Tail... in the... how do I want to say it? By Starmie. In Tailwind. So, we get rid of the first Pokemon on this team. So very, very good start for us. So bye Starmie. No Meteor Mash for you. And then I realized what the Toxapex does. It uses Toxics on my Cinderace, which is, you know, crazy. And I'm not very happy about it, but, you know, it is what it is. So we're poisoned here, which is fine, I guess. Not much I can do about it at this particular point. But yeah, so they decide to bring, I believe at this point, it was Scizor. So Scizor, obviously using a priority move, I believe in Bullet Punch. I believe that's a priority move, because it does go, like, first here. So Talonflame is going to use Max Airstream once again into the Toxapex, because I was predicting a Baneful Bunker this time. And then we're going to Flare Blitz into the Scizor. The Scizor is not going to be able to survive a Flare Blitz from a Talonflame. So Baneful Bunker does indeed come off as I predicted. I'm glad I didn't make that mistake. Bullet Punch is coming off into the Scizor. It doesn't do a ton of damage. Scizor shows that it's Life Orb. Talonflame is going to knock it out with the Flare Blitz. So now we're up basically 2-0. Does a ton of damage to Talonflame though, because it's basically full health and whatnot. So Talonflame goes down. Well, its HP goes down, and then a Max Airstream into the protected Toxapex, Baneful Bunker, which gives us yet another speed boost here. And the reason I'm bringing up speed boost is what happens here. And I still have yet to look into this because I actually recorded another episode after this. I was looking into this episode, and then I was like, oh, it didn't record the sound. So what happens here is crazy, and I really want to know what happens here. This is my first look at this play since then, and yeah, let's see what happens here. So I believe I wanted to Pyro Ball, just because I didn't want to miss the high jump kick, which would knock me out. And then, because the Toxapex did the Baneful Bunker the previous turn, I didn't expect it to do it again. However, Weavile goes for the Ice Shard. Now, I haven't had a chance to look into this, and actually I'm going to do this right now, because I need to know. Ice Shard. Is that a priority move? Is a damage move introduced in Generation. So Ice Shard. Ice Shard does indeed have a speed priority. This move always goes first. So that's why. I was not expecting that, and that was really weird. It's a priority move. Wasn't expecting that. So rip Cinderace. The Brave Bird did knock out the Toxapex, which was unfortunate here. I believe my Tailwind pattered out as well in this particular point. I missed that right now, but I know I saw that with the, you know, with the thing there. But we're gonna Flare Blitz. Remember, we're double speed at this point, and they had yet to Dynamax too. I saw that coming, and I was like, oh my god! It's like they had yet to Dynamax and whatnot. So they decide to Dynamax their Weavile, which was probably a really good move. Beautiful shiny, by the way. Absolutely beautiful shiny. But then I realized it's like, especially because I went first, it had to have been a priority move, and then I just one-shot it anyway, because why not? I'm not 100%. I still was not 100% sure why. But it did. A Talonflame goes down to recoil, so I win 2-0. But I do defeat the second opponent to go basically 2-2, or excuse me, 1-1 in this episode. So we basically didn't gain anything other than maybe some experience, and yeah. So let's see where we end up here. I'm actually gonna skip ahead to that because I'm just babbling on, and I'm gonna. Yeah, we're gonna update rank here, and we get to like about halfway through 4, a little less. Oh, okay, I would say 30% through. All right, so that's pretty much what happened in this episode. I know it's not exactly the best because you didn't see the thing, the battle animations, or you didn't hear it anyway. I mean, you saw it. Like I said, I managed to kind of salvage the video here, but yeah. But I hope you guys did enjoy this episode nonetheless. I do promise you, because I recorded it, before this little segment of this episode, episode 2, I know the next episode goes well because I made sure that it went well. So it'll be back to regular traditional one next time. I actually, yeah, it'll go back to the next one, I promise. Guys, thank you so much for bearing with me through this one. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you are excited for this series. Thank you guys so much for sticking through with me on this one. This one was unexpected, that's for sure. Thank you guys. Bye.